Welcome back to Westeros, where half the cast is dead, the other half is traumatized, and somehow the story keeps crawling forward like a wounded raven with commitment issues. We open with Pate, a random guy in Old Town who's basically a discount Samuel Tarly. He's trying to impress a girl by stealing a key for a mysterious stranger who definitely isn't suspicious at all. 5 minutes later, he's dead. This is A Feast for Crows, folks, the book that opens with a casual poisoning. Oh, right, almost forgot. There's a new king on the Iron Throne now. His name? Tommen Baratheon. His personality? Polite, soft-spoken, allergic to confrontation. A refreshing change after Joffrey, aka public enemy number one. But let's be honest, Tommen might be wearing the crown, but he's not ruling anything. The real power still in the hands of his mother. Cersei Lannister, Queen Regent, wine addict, and future disaster. Cersei treats Tommen like a cuddly puppet with a crown. She makes the decisions, signs the decrees, and pushes her son into marriage with Marguerite Tyrell, all while pretending she's totally in control of the situation. Spoiler, she's absolutely not. So, yes, technically Tommen is king, but in practice, this kingdom is being ruled by someone who's spiraling faster than the plot. Cersei's internal monologue is 70% I hate Marguerite, and 30% everyone's plotting against me. And honestly, she's not entirely wrong, but she's also really bad at math. Marguerite, on the other hand, is out here being elegant, charming, and suspiciously untouchable. Still ready to be a wife, so she's going after Tommen. Smart move, girl. Cersei's convinced the girl's planning something, so naturally she turns to Qyburn, disgraced Meister and full-time necromancer, to create a zombie bodyguard, Sir Robert Strong, and maybe also commit light war crimes. In some time past, we have a new power couple, King Tommen and Queen Marguerite. He's sweet, she's strategic. Together, they're the least threatening newlyweds in Westeros. Tommen is besotted. He's got a kitten, a crown, and a crush. And Marguerite, she's playing it perfectly. She flatters him, she listens, she introduces him to small council meetings like it's date night. And the best part, she does it all with a smile that screams, "I'm not doing anything suspicious at all." Cersei sees this. Cersei hates this, because the one thing worse than her son being king is her son being married to someone cleverer than her. So now, Tommen is stuck between a mother who wants to control him and a wife who wants to guide him, gently, with compliments and cake. Honestly, it's the healthiest dynamic in King's Landing, which says a lot. And none of it good. Down south, Brienne of Tarth is on a mission to find Sansa Stark. She travels through the rubble of the Riverlands like a sad, tired knight with a code no one respects. She meets murderers, bandits, and villagers who are all like, "Yeah, we saw some girl," and then immediately get murdered by someone else. It's a mess. Podrick Payne follows loyally, trying not to die. Bless him. Meanwhile, in the Vale, Sansa is now pretending to be Elaine Stone, Littlefinger's bastard daughter, aka Westeros' creepiest roleplay. Littlefinger is training her in the dark arts of manipulation, lying and looking innocent while plotting someone's political demise. Arya, in Braavos, new name, new face, new god, she joins the House of Black and White, where they teach you to become no one by giving you jobs that sound like murder internships. End of part 1. Cersei's drunk on power, Brienne's chasing ghosts, Arya's learning to kill politely, and Sansa's trapped in the world's worst mentorship program. No dragons, no Jon, no Dany, just politics, trauma, and slow-burning madness. In this next round of A Feast for Crows, we take a detour to the land of sand, spies, and subtle daggers, also known as Dorne, because apparently vengeance wears silk and walks very slowly. We meet Arianne Martell, daughter of Prince Doran, and she is not happy. Her dad is playing the long game. She wants to flip the table. Her brilliant plan? Crown Myrcella Baratheon? Yes, Cersei's daughter, as queen, because in Dorne, girls can rule, and people still die painfully. She rallies a few hot-headed Dornish bros to sneak Myrcella out. It goes so well that one of them cuts off her ear. The plan fails. Doran finds out. Everyone gets arrested. Arianne cries. The fandom cheers because, finally, Dorne gets some page time. Meanwhile, back in King's Landing, Cersei is still spiraling like she's auditioning for Real Housewives of Westeros. She's obsessed with getting rid of Marguerite, distrusts Pycelle, Kevin, Tommen, and even her wine cup. Her ruling strategy is basically fire smart people, promote idiots, blame Marguerite for everything, and hope for the best. She builds a new High Septon who's basically Westeros' answer to a barefoot religious extremist. She thinks she can control him. Spoiler, she cannot. This is how you accidentally invent the faith militant. Oops. Brienne of Tarth is still doing her sad night road trip, following rumors of Sansa while trying not to get stabbed by literally every man she meets. She bonds with Septon Meribald, Dog the war veteran, and a whole cast of people who only exist to tell her, don't bother, the world's already broken. She remains painfully earnest in a kingdom that rewards the opposite. Meanwhile, in Bravos, Arya is deep in assassin training. She's now blind. No explanation, no warning, just welcome to the next phase. Apparently, learning to be no one includes eating mysterious soups, sleeping in the dark, and getting whacked with sticks by old men. Cool. And in the Vale, Littlefinger is grooming Sansa into his perfect political pawn, feeding her lies about loyalty, identity, and how to survive. She's getting smarter. He's getting creepier. The tension? Thick. End of part 2. Dorne tried, Brienne wandered, Arya got punished for asking questions, and Cersei just gave religious fanatics the power of swords. Great leadership, 10 out of 10, no notes. At this point in the book, no one's winning. Not morally, not politically, not emotionally. Welcome to a feast for crows, where your options are betray, be betrayed, or drink until you forget who you are. Let's begin with Cersei, who has fully transitioned from concerned ruler to paranoid wine gremlin. She's convinced Marguerite Tyrell is plotting to seduce and control King Tommen. Is Marguerite? Maybe. Probably. Doesn't matter. Cersei's solution: frame her for adultery with literally everyone in her orbit, including a bard, a cousin, and possibly her own shadow. She recruits Qyburn, her personal mad scientist, to extract confessions. It's about as ethical as it sounds. Spoiler, it involves rats and screaming. She thinks she's won. She thinks she's smart. And then, surprise, the faith militant turns on her. Marguerite is imprisoned, but so is Cersei. Yes, Queen Regent Cersei Lannister is thrown in a dungeon by the religious cult she helped restore. Because karma doesn't just come for peasants. Meanwhile, in the Iron Islands, we're stuck in a subplot about a Kingsmoot because Balon Greyjoy is dead. Fell off a bridge, probably not naturally, and now all his idiot brothers are fighting over who gets to burn Westeros next. Meet Euron Greyjoy, pirate, warlock, psychopath. He wins by promising dragons, death, and general chaos. Asha, Yara in the show, loses. Victarion, his dumb brother, gets sent on a dragon-fetching mission. This will go terribly. Back in the Vale, Sansa's getting very good at being Elaine Stone. She plays politics, flatters lords, and watches Littlefinger scheme his way toward marrying her off to Robert Arryn's eventual heir. She's still a pawn, but you can tell she's learning the game. End of part 3. Cersei's in prison, Brienne's about to die, maybe. Euron's being a sea demon, and Sansa is slowly becoming dangerous. There are no heroes left, only survivors, and even they are on a timer. By now, most characters are either imprisoned, traumatized, or pretending to be someone else, which means we're right on track for the end of A Feast for Crows. Let's start with Cersei, who is now deep in her religious consequences arc. Locked up by the Faith of the Seven, she refuses to confess to any of her actual crimes, incest, plotting murder, general chaos, but eventually admits to some light fornication. Her reward? A walk of atonement. She's stripped naked, paraded through King's Landing, while a septa rings a bell and chants, "Shame, shame, shame." It's as subtle as a trebuchet and twice as humiliating. The people jeer, spit, and throw things, and yet Cersei survives it. She's broken, yes, but also furious, and now she has her zombie bodyguard, Sir Robert Strong, aka Frankenstein's Mountain, waiting at the finish line. Revenge is back on the menu. Meanwhile, in Bravos, Arya graduates from murder intern to full-blown apprentice of the House of Black and White. She poisons a corrupt insurance scammer, is temporarily blinded again, and starts hearing faces talk to her. Normal stuff. She's becoming no one, but also very much still Arya. You can feel it. She's playing along. For now. Back in the Vale, Sansa is the only character quietly thriving. Still trapped, yes, but learning. She's smiling at the right lords, feigning innocence, and watching Littlefinger like a hawk. He teaches manipulation. She listens, and you start to realize she's not the student anymore. She's playing his game better than he knows. Elsewhere, Samwell Tarly, everyone's favorite anxious book nerd, is sent to Old Town to become a maester. He travels by ship, dodges plague, and possibly meets a faceless man in disguise. Knowledge is coming. So is something much darker. End of part 4, and the book. Cersei's humiliated but not beaten. Arya's becoming a weapon. Sansa's becoming dangerous. And Westeros? Still bleeding, still burning, still not ready for what's coming. So, what have we learned from A Feast for Crows? The book where the action slows down but the dysfunction ramps all the way up? We learned that Cersei Lannister is not Tywin. She's paranoid, drunk, and running the kingdom like it's a high school hallway full of bad exes. She built a religious army to destroy her enemies, and somehow got herself arrested instead. Shame! 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 Indeed! We learned that Brienne of Tarth is one of the only decent people left, which in Westeros means no one listens to her and she probably dies for trying to help. We learned that Sansa Stark can now lie with a straight face, curtsy while scheming, and smile at men she wants to outmaneuver. Littlefinger thinks he's in control. Spoiler, he's not. We learned that Arya Stark is in a murder school with horrible customer service. She's blind, she's killing people, she's forgetting her name, or pretending to. We learned that the Iron Islands are still the worst group project in Westeros. Balon's dead. Euron's a demonic pirate with dragon delusions, and Victarion is, trying his best. We learned that Dorne has been quietly seething for years and finally did something, which completely failed. Arianne tried to crown Myrcella. Myrcella lost an ear. Everyone lost the plot. We learned that Westeros isn't healing. It's festering. The Riverlands are burned out wreckage. The Faith Militant is sharpening swords. And every surviving noble is either plotting or panicking. And through it all, we didn't hear a single word from Jon Snow, Daenerys, Tyrion, or Stannis. Why? Because George R.R. Martin said, "You'll get their stories in the next book. Maybe, if you survive this one." This was a feast for crows. No big battles, no dragons, just religious zealots, identity crises, and very slow mental breakdowns. If you survive this quiet descent into madness, like the video, comment who had the worst downfall and click the bell, because A Dance with Dragons is next, and that's where the dragons finally show up, right alongside the corpses. Subscribe now, before Cersei accuses you of treason.